Everybody, welcome back to the shop. Now we're on the 2650 install on the CTSV. There's a few things that are done already because of putting the headers on. Got us where we switched out the valve covers, which is part of the deal, and unplugged the coil, stuff like that. But we're pretty much starting from there. This is the kit right here. Comes with everything you need to do the swap. There's other stuff like this for the coils. We will not need this. These wedges are for you install underneath the stock cover, so you can cut the angle right, and then these brackets are for the coils, so we won't need these. But everything else should be used. The fuel lines, so you can get on with it. Much gonna want like your coils out of the way if you have your stock covers, and you want all your wiring loose so that you can move it. We got to take the fuel line off, which is going to use the there's a blue quick connect piece right here. Just going to stick it up inside there. It releases it and you lift it up. There's a little lock you got to take off right there. I already took this one off on this side. And then after that, it's pretty much pull the lid and do the inner bolts. So we'll get started on that. So basically we got the throttle body off, got the upper lid off, you got all of the connectors unplugged, and all we're doing now is taking the bolts off from the cylinder heads to the supercharger with the lid off. So then the next step is this should just come off. We got this one off. This was super easy. I mean, it's just been maybe 10 or 15 minutes since the last cut, but look at all this oil in here. That's a lot of oil. That's why we need a catch can in these things. But this has only got 3,500 miles on it. So we got this. That fuel line is removed. There's a hard line that comes off the side here. That comes off, and we put a new supplied fuel line here. And there's also like a sound deadener under here. That's no longer going to be there either. But we had to clean all these ports up because there was oil around every one of them. So all the superchargers off. It's a lot easier. I've seen some people put blocks up and you just barely have enough room here, but there's no need to be doing it like that. So this is a 9/16 Allen. I know it looks funky with like a star pattern, but we're just gonna take this out of there, and we have the other adapter, and you have to take these O-rings and swap them to the new piece. So I got the pieces transferred over, or the O-rings. Now you're just gonna thread it back in here, and you're gonna use a 13mm wrench and tighten this down until it's tight all the way, and then back it off so that it's pointing that way. So I got it just about all the way, so it stops here. So we're gonna back it because they want it angled at this point here. Then you can put this hose fitting in again. Oh, here it is. You're gonna put this barb fitting in there, and then put the hose on it now so that it's easy to get to. I'll probably put a little Teflon on this, and we'll just tighten it in with a 9/16. All right, so they want you to put a little bit of this lube that they supply on that nipple there, and then spread it out on each of these ports, and then we'll just end up gonna take the supercharger in. They have you open this up and just look in there. Inside there, there is a port you want to line up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it, but it's in front of where my finger is. Where is it? It's in that area there. I can't get the... Okay, we got the inner, obviously the inner torqued down, get the bricks back in, your coolant inlet and outlet, the top's torqued down. The stock supercharger, there's a sensor that looks like a map sensor up front. You got this bracket here. This is going to get mounted to the head because this is going to just free float and get like ambient pressure from the outside. That's how these work. So this is going to get mounted to, I believe, well, I'll show it when we're done, but one of these holes here, it gets mounted to the cylinder head. So in the kit you have this spacer with the bolt. This is like the bracket here, and they want you to push this hose on, and we'll show you where that goes as soon as we get to that. So they have the line here with the mesh cover here. You got one clamp that goes into the back for a bracket there to hold that in the back. Route it underneath the inlet, and then it comes in and plugs in right here. They want this capped off here, and let's see, this is where that sensor I said mounts. It just pretty much mounts to here, and it runs around into the top here. So we're getting there. All right, so I know that what you're going to see here is pretty much done. The only thing I have not done was put the coolant in it, but we can go over what we did here. All right, so with the coolant hoses, this is a pre-made hose here. This is pretty much cut and dry. This goes in the top, it feeds back here around to the supplied reservoir, which bolts to, there's a existing bolt right here that's underneath the strut brace, and then you cut a piece of pipe from when you do the lower piece to connect it to your where it goes to the pump. So that's pretty simple there. The one down here, this used to be a long piece. You cut it down to 6 inches from the edge to where it connects, and then you want it 3.5 inches going into the lower. And then the other one, which is kind of buried, it runs underneath. Everything, you end up running everything underneath here. But this hose, you cut down to 22 inches and 3.5. I will say this, that this plug right there is very hard to get in there. I mean, it's not, it's just you have to fight against it just a little bit when you're pushing it on the piece, but it will go on there because it is very close to the lower hose, but it'll go. After you install the belt, you can torque these down. Pretty much everything, most of the bolts were 106 inch-pounds. Pretty much all the blower lid bolts, these, all the 6mm stuff. Also, there's one thing that add to here, there's a coolant temperature, or not coolant temperature, air inlet temperature, and that wraps around here and goes to the map sensor, and there's a T harness there, kind of like when you do trailer brake plug, so you can tap into it. So that's the only thing you had to add to it as far as electronically. The air intake tube that he had got for this fit perfectly fine like stock. It's easier to get this end in first and then get the pipe in after. But pretty much everything's good. So I'm gonna pour the coolant in there first, and then if I have to, I have a vacuum set up where I could pull vacuum and get it in there. We'll see how it goes. Hit the gas again. More. I turn them, quiet it up. Shut it off. Okay, so when you're done filling it, they want it at the base of the neck of the reservoir, and then you can cap it off. But it did start right up, no issues. Surprisingly, with the exhaust closed, it is quiet. I thought it was going to be loud, but it is fairly quiet for having headers. I was really surprised. But it looks like we're all done with this. You can probably hear the rain on the roof of the pole barn. So we're not going to take it out in the street, so we'll probably take this for a drive tomorrow. But as far as I'm concerned, it's ready to go. Probably run it a little longer to heat the exhaust, the cap back up, so we can like hit all the bolts again. But other than that, no, we're good. So can't wait to get this on the road and see what it does. All right, so we got her outside. When it opened up, sounds pretty loud. So that's going to be the end of this video. We can't really do any wide open pulls because in the instruction, because it's based on the stock tune, they don't want you to go wide open until the computer adjusts everything. So when we can do that, we'll do another video for that. But the whole thing wasn't bad. There was a series of videos on this between a catch can, the valve covers, the supercharger obviously, and the headers. Total time on that, on the lift, and I've really never worked on an LT4 exclusively, so I mean I've seen them, but I haven't really gone that far into it. It was about 15 hours of work, maybe 16 tops, so it was like a few nights after work to get that done. But yeah, it's fairly simple if you've ever removed a supercharger before. The other hoses you gotta add and stuff like that, that's really not that hard to do. The instructions are really good. There's a few slightly questionable ones, but they were easy enough to figure out. So as far as the performance goes, like I said, we'll get into that when he gets some more time in on it. And then I think the plan is going to be to unlock the computer and then maybe go to an 85 pulley. I think that's his plan, and I think that'll be about the max he can go with it on the stock fuel system. So we'll see, because I can also, once he gets some time in on it, hook my HP tuners to it and see where we're at on the AFR and stuff. So yeah, so more to come with that once we get some time in on that. But I hope the video helps, and we'll catch you on the next one.